If New Year's resolutions are putting a spotlight on all of your shortcomings and making you remember all the things that you didn't accomplish last year, this video is for you. I know I've had my moments already. I go on Instagram and I see this woman in beautiful designer clothes and she's walking through the city with the wind blowing through her hair. And I'm just sitting there on my couch in my pajamas, eating cookies and wondering where I went wrong. I totally understand it. It can bring up these feelings of inadequacy and really make you feel like crap. Yeah, you're not alone. I'm Ashley and I am a recovering pessimist, and I am on a journey to embrace who I am and work through all of the crap that I have been told for the last 40 some years of my life. And now I'm trying to teach young women the same so that they don't have to go through life the way I did. I want to help you move through your self-doubt and develop a positive mindset in a world that tells you you're not enough. Our brain sees all these highlights of everyone's lives. And with social media, that is 24/7, everyone, everywhere, all the time. So it's no surprise that we feel like trash when we start scrolling. And when someone announces all of their grand plans and resolutions for this year, then we start thinking, oh crap, what am I going to do? Now, I'm not saying that it's not great to have goals and things that you want to start doing this year, but you don't need to completely turn your life around and start incorporating all of these things and become a completely different person overnight. It doesn't even really work that way, even if social media makes it feel like it. I've been working on myself for over 6 years, so I totally understand what it's like to feel like you don't matter or you don't measure up. By the way, if you're just starting out on your journey and you need a little bit of help, I've made a guide just for you, 7 days to a glow up guide. And what it does is it just gives you these daily actions to help you reset your mindset and create a sense of peace and calm that really just helps you upgrade your life. I'll link it below. So in 2026, we are going to focus on things that help keep us grounded and growing and help us feel calm even when things aren't going our way or working out the way we want them to. Because let's be honest, that's going to happen sometime. So here are my priorities for 2026. Number one, showing up even when it feels scary. Fear can be such a petty asshole. It's there because it helps us not to do things that are dangerous, but it also helps us not to do things just because they're out of our comfort zone. We don't always need it. It's just there to keep us safe. But when we stay in our little safe space, we don't have room to expand. And the reason we stay in our safe space is because we're afraid if we put ourselves out there or try something new, we're going to look stupid or we're going to make a mistake or people are going to talk about us. But you know what? Other people's opinions don't pay my bills. So this year, I am giving less F's about them. If you want to move, you have to do scary things. Nobody you admire got to where they were by staying in their comfort zone. They made one big move or maybe a couple of small, scary moves. So if there's something you want to do this year that kind of scares you, do it, because I'm going to be doing the same thing. Number two, consistency over perfection. Listen, I'm not a type A person, but I will wait until something is perfect and pristine before I will post it on my Instagram. I'm worried about how the colors go together, how my hair looks, or how stupid I sound. But my goal is just to put stuff out there because I'm not going to grow any if I don't start from my day one. So if I'm not putting anything out there, then I'm not learning. Nobody is going to be perfect when they first start. I'm done worrying about if I sound like an idiot because honestly, who wasn't making mistakes and sounding weird when they first started? And to tell you the truth, nobody's even thinking as harshly as you were thinking about yourself. So in the beginning, it's going to be messy. You're going to make mistakes. People are probably going to say things about you, but you don't care because it's what you want to do. And just because somebody else is doing it better than you doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing it. They've been at it longer, so they've been more consistent. It doesn't mean that you can't get there too. Number three, habits that support who I'm becoming. I have this vision of myself in my mind and I can't really explain it, but I'm fit and I'm confident and I walk with confidence and I'm wearing clothes that are tailored and fit me and look amazing on me. And I'm just kind of like this all over badass. So you know what? I'm incorporating habits now that are going to get me there and things that I think she would be doing. So I'm nourishing my body by eating right. I'm not staying up super late watching reels. I'm working out 3 days a week. I'm working towards my goals and building my business. I create an environment that she would want to be in, and I put myself myself in rooms where I think she would be. I'm making moves and decisions that I think that she would make. The version of you that you want to become isn't going to happen overnight. It's built brick by brick. The version that you want to become isn't going to happen overnight. It's built brick by brick with the things and the habits that you do right now. Number 4, I'm choosing myself without guilt. No one is ever going to love you or care for you as much as you. So why not do things that make you happy? You know, you always hear you can't pour from an empty cup, and it's so true. If you're constantly giving and giving and giving, then you have nothing left for yourself, and then there's nothing left to give. Don't constantly give your energy away or go people pleasing just because you think it's the right thing to do. You need to be prioritizing yourself and I'm prioritizing where I spend my time and who I spend it with. I'm not going to be scrolling every single day and try to spend more time putting myself where I need to be to achieve my goals, or spending time outside just to refresh my brain and not get so overwhelmed with what's going on around. I'm resting when my body tells me it's time for a break, because there's really nothing sexy about hustling and grinding. You're just going to burn yourself out. I'm setting boundaries with people who drain my energy, and I'm unapologetic about it. Number 5, I think we're on number 5. Yeah. More self-trust, less external validation. With social media, one of the number one things that everyone does is they seek out validation through what other people think of them. So clicks, likes, views, comments, all of that stuff. And I'm victim of it too. I'll work really hard on a post and put my heart and soul into it just to have maybe 1 or 2 people like it. But I am not going to put my worth in how many people click the heart. My accomplishments have nothing to do with my worth, and what other people think of me doesn't either. I'm putting out things that I truly believe in and a message that I want to get across. It doesn't mean anything about me if nobody interacts with it. We have got to stop looking outside of ourselves for our work. It's costing us our self-trust, and it's hindering our own growth. Number 6, building confidence through action. I was always sold the idea that confident people were just born confident, or anybody who was a big deal just got there because they were confident people. But the truth is that confidence came from the small actions that they took that got them there. I remember when I first started presenting workshops to groups of young women, and I was really nervous about it. But the more I did it, the more I hit my stride and the more confident I got in speaking. Just think about something that you're involved in, whether it be a church group or a sport or an activity. You were probably pretty nervous because you didn't know what to expect. But every single time you went, you learned a little bit more, you got to know the people, you knew the routine. So you started to feel more confident showing up there and being yourself. It just became part of your life. So it's kind of the same thing with confidence. You can't become confident by just walking into a room and saying, I'm confident. It's those small actions that all add up. Number 7, focusing on your own growth and progress. If you measure your growth off of somebody else, you're never going to feel like you're going anywhere. I just started playing tennis in the fall of 2024. And I got really frustrated really quickly because I found out that I really wasn't any good. But the truth is I never picked up a racket before in my life. So what was I expecting? To be Andre Agassi? You guys probably have no idea who Andre Agassi. Even after a couple of weeks and months, I still wasn't very good. And I would sit there and watch the other people practice and wonder, why am I not as good as them? But they were in the advanced class, which means they've been doing this longer than me. They've been practicing and doing all of these things. And I would just think to myself, why can't I be that good already? I was comparing my step 1 to their step 25. They probably were in my position a year or 2 ago. So comparing myself to them and how good we are at tennis is completely useless. But when I started tracking my own progress and how far I've come to where I was a year ago, I realized that I'm a lot better than I was when I started out. I've learned how to use my racket. I've learned terms that I didn't know before. I'm hitting the ball more consistently. I'm working on my swing. And I was even able to play a full game with my family. When we count up those small wins, we start to see where we actually are growing. One tip that you can try and that I've started implementing is to start a notebook or a running list. And every single day or every single week, just write down one small win. It doesn't have to be anything major. It can be, when you do reach a goal, that's awesome. Maybe put a star next to it. But all these little things, you'll realize if you look at it at the end of the year, wow, there was a lot of goals that I accomplished, a lot of small wins that I had. When if you don't have that list at the end of the year, you think, oh gosh, this year was a complete waste. When in fact, you did all of these awesome things. But we don't think about it every single day because we're moving into that identity where we just kind of brush it off as, oh, of course, that's something that I know how to do. When you look at that list at the end of the year, you'll be really surprised at how much you accomplish. And let's be clear, resolution should never be about fixing anything because there's nothing wrong with you. You're just helping come out what's inside of you already. You're stepping into who you want to become and allowing her room to breathe. It's about setting expectations for yourself and showing up because that builds self-trust, which in turn builds confidence. Do the scary thing. Stick with the new habit. Focus on you. Be your number one hype person in 2026.